Well, hello YouTubers, hello Facebook people, hello Twitter people, and hello LinkedIn people. This is Bob Hickman. It is so good to be back with you. Well, I want to come here first of all and say thank you to all of you who have been writing me such lovely comments on all my videos. I really appreciate the support. If you haven't seen this week's Messages from the Spirit World, it's the video before this. Make sure to check it out, give me a thumbs up, and send me a nice comment if you can. Anyways, I want to come here today. A lot of you have been writing saying, Bob, we want more magical charms and learn some more about that. So, of course, you know I'm always happy to do that. Some of you have actually written and said, Bob, we notice you're wearing in your videos a red cord around your arm. What is that? Is that some magical symbol? Well, first of all, those of you who have been watching, you're very observant. Good for you. Yes, this is actually a special red cord that I wear. It's a consecrated cord. In the Indian tradition from India, they call it Rakhi. And Rakhi, I think the Indian name, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing it, but for those of you who watch me in India, I believe it's called Raksha Bandhan, which means it's like a cord, a protection against Rakshas, which are demons. So this is a cord that is worn by many people, not just in India, but in many of the Eastern traditions. It exists in Buddhism, it exists in Hinduism, and actually even we have it in the Western tradition, and it comes in the form of cord magic. So I thought today, I would show you guys how to make one of these special cords for your use. Okay. Now, one of the things I have to tell you is, a lot of people have been saying, well, Bob, I see all the Hollywood celebrities wearing this. Yes, there has been in the recent years a big phase. The red bracelet is very known in the United States, at least, and I think in most of Europe, as connected with Kabbalah. Now, Kabbalah is an ancient mystic Jewish practice, and many Kabbalah practitioners wear the red cord. Now, you've seen famous people like Madonna has worn it, Goldie Hawn has worn it. I think Demi Moore was wearing one. So, this has become very much a kind of almost a fashion statement. Now, I don't wear it as a fashion statement, and unfortunately, you see, like a lot of things that are spiritual, once it goes Hollywood, it becomes very watered down and just a fashion statement. But the red cord bracelet actually has an ancient history. It goes back thousands of years. Well, the color red represents protection and life force, okay, because red is like blood, and it also is high power. Now, if you wanted to use high power, you could visualize red light around you, and that gives you a lot of power. A lot of times people go to business meetings and wear a red tie. They call it their power tie. So red is known as a power color, okay? And the cording is actually a form of knot magic, and we're going to show you how to do some of that today. So anyway, sit back and join me as we learn how to make a special red cord bracelet. Now, to do this project is very simple. All you need is some red yarn. You can go to any local craft store, sewing store, even I think Walmart sells yarn. Buy a skein of red yarn. Now, preferably it's best if you use wool or cotton yarn. You can use synthetic if you're allergic to those fabrics, but I would recommend as much as you can get regular yarn. You'll also need a pair of scissors, and I would recommend a roller or a tape measure. I happen to have a tape measure here, okay? Now, some people are going to say, well, Bob, why can't you just tie one strand around your wrist and be done with it? Well, I suppose you could do that, but the thing is that for the cord bracelet to have strength, as you can see as mine does, it's better that you have multiple strands braided together because it'll give greater durability to the bracelet. If you use just a single strand, it'll tend to fray and come apart, whereas a braided cord is much stronger. So what you want to do is, using your tape measure, you want to measure out about 18 inches. Let's see here. Yeah, about 18 inches of yarn. Now you're going to say, well, Bob, my wrist is not 18 inches long, 18 inches in diameter. But what happens is when you braid, you lose a lot of the length of the cord. So measure out about 18 inches. Now, for those of you who are watching overseas and you're saying, well, Bob, what is that? I don't know inches in my country. Luckily, my tape measure, and you flip it over, as you can see, here's 18 inches. You flip it over, and it's about 47 centimeters. So if you're watching in Europe, or elsewhere in the world, it's about 46, 47 centimeters. That should give you enough length that as you braid, you'll have, you know, a nice setup. Now, one of the things that you may want to do is, I put down my pinnacle cloth here because it's kind of like sets a sacred tone. The power from the bracelet comes, a lot of it, from your consciousness and your chanting. So we're going to measure out our cord here. And as you can see, we're just measuring out our cord. Now, you can have as many strands as you want. My bracelet I'm currently wearing is 3 strands, and I like a 3-strand bracelet. I think it's not too big and bulky, and it's something lightweight that you can wear every day. So as you can see here, we have our 3 strands measured out, about 18 inches, and we're going to start with that. Now what you want to do to start is you want to take your 3 ends here of your cords and go ahead and tie a knot in this area. So you want to just loop those 3 ends together, pull them through, and create a knot. Leave a little bit of fraying here on the ends. You want a little bit of loose open end. Just knot that off, and that's good and secure. Now the next thing that you want to do is start your braiding. So some of you are going to say, well, Bob, how do you braid? Well, it's very simple. Basically, you divide your strands into 3 segments, and basically you focus on one as the center segment, and then you cross over your plaits. Now I'm left-handed, so I probably do it the opposite of most of you. If you're right-handed, you probably want to start with the right one and cross it over. Because I'm left-oriented, I start with the left. So we just take one, we cross it over the center, okay, strengthen it out so you've got, now it looks like the left one's in the center. Then you take the right braid, right-sided cord, cross it back over so it's in the center. So you want to just alternate left, tighten it up as you go along, and right. And just keep flipping them one over the other. And as you go along, you'll start to see that you're getting a nice little cord starting to form. Now, the secret to this isn't just doing the knotting right. It's about a spiritual practice. So you want to meditate or chant a mantra. Now, I like to chant the ancient Buddhist mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum. And I'll put that up here. That's a Tibetan mantra. A lot of Tibetans wear these corded bracelets. And it's a mantra. It means hail the jewel in the lotus. It's an invocation of the divine blessings of the Buddha and also the Bodhisattva of compassion, Kuan Yin. Or in Tibetan, it's Avalokiteshvara. Either way, Om Mani Padme Hum. Now, if you don't like to chant that, you can chant any mantra that you want. You can even have a word as such as protection. So you could say protection, 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 protection. And just keep crossing your cords one over the other. And you're going to build up a really nice thing. Now you can also chant another mantra, blessing, blessing, blessing. But what I recommend for the best effect is that you choose one mantra and use it for the whole way through for the bracelet. So I'm actually going to stick with Om Mani Padme Hum. So as I cross my plates, I visualize light entering the cords and divine protection surrounding this. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. What you want to do is, as you're going along, kind of push up. Take your thumbs and push up. A lot of you do texting, so you know how to work with your thumbs. So you want to push up and tighten the knots because you want a tight braid, not a loose braid. You can do a looser braid, but your bracelet won't be as thick or as solid. It'll be flimsy. So a tight braid allows that to be more solid. And as you look here, I think you guys can see it, there's a nice little braided form here that's forming. So you just want to keep doing that and chant Om Mani Padme Hum or whatever mantra you choose as you braid it. Keep visualizing light and know that as you are working on this, You're a building power and a charm of great protection. For those of you who practice Wicca, you recognize this as a form of cord magic. And in fact, I like to say whenever we make bracelets, it's actually, I call it cord meditation. So if you're in a place in your life where you're having some struggle, you think, I need a little extra power against all these problems I'm having, you might want to sit down and work on making a spiritual bracelet and practice cord meditation. Om Mani Padme Hum. Now you can even sing mantras too. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. But whatever you do, whatever mantra you chant, do it with focus and energy and devotion. And as you build your bracelet, just stop periodically and check it. Just see how the plates are lining up. And just keep going. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 As you can see, we're coming along here. We're about halfway done with our bracelet. Now, some of you are probably going to say, well, Bob, you know what? I'm braiding and I get chanting and I forget which cord to cross over next. And I can't remember if I'm supposed to go to the left or to the right. Well, that happens sometimes. But don't worry about that. Just start again with the pattern. Just repeat. The bracelets are very forgiving in their design. So if you mess it up, it won't show up. And as you're doing it, remember just to keep kind of pushing up with your thumbs, the knotting, so that it stays tight. So, and then chant as you're doing it. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum. You're going to find that as you chant and braid your cord bracelet, that it really will become a wonderful form of meditation, and one that really truly is very profound and spiritual and will take you to a very deep place. And as you're watching your bracelet, continually visualize light infusing it with protective energies. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Now, as you can see, we're almost here at the end, and that big 18-inch length of cord is now down to very small. What you can do is, as you're going along and braiding, just drape the bracelet over your wrist and kind of see if it's going to fit, whether you want it tight or loose. Anyways, once you get down to the end, this is about done here. You want to then just, holding your braids together, you want to tie a knot. So just loop it around and knot off your braid. And that'll keep it from fraying anymore. And then you've got knots at both ends, okay? Now, as you can see, we've got our red cord, and this has been infused with prayer and devotion. At this point, you're able to wear it. But if you want to do one more step, you can consecrate it. For example, you can light incense and pass the cord through the incense and do one more prayer on it. Or if you do Reiki, if you're one of the people who do Reiki, put Reiki energy into it as an extra blessing. Or one of the old traditions that I like to do is I bless the cord by touching it to a sacred object. Now, the mantra we chanted, Om Mani Padme Hum, is associated with Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin is the Buddhist goddess of mercy and compassion. And I'll do another whole video about Kuan Yin soon. But what I like to do is take my cord and drape it around Kuan Yin and ask for her blessing. And so I drape my cord over Kuan Yin and I ask for her blessing upon my cord. And that's all you got to do. And then your Rakhi, your cord, is ready to wear. So you put it on again and chant your mantra. Om Mani Padme Hum. Or, as I said, whatever mantra is your choice. Anyways, guys, I hope this has been insightful and helpful for you. And if you make a red cord, I'd sure love to see it. Maybe you can do a video showing your red cord bracelet, and we could all here at Spirit Channel wear these as signs of being unified in prayer with each other. Wouldn't that be nice? We can all wear our corded bracelets, and as we do it, we offer it up for our YouTube friends. And that way we're all united. So think about that. If you do that and you can make a video, I'd sure love to see it. Anyways, guys, thanks for being here. Keep it here. We'll have more videos coming in the coming days. And you know where it's at, here at Spirit Channel. Thanks for being here again. Blessings to all of you.